Hare Krishna. A very warm welcome to all of you. With Janmashtami approaching, I thought we could spend some time remembering something very, very special Krishna's leelas. After 18 days of the greatest war the world had ever seen, the battlefield of Kurukshetra fell silent. Among the fallen warriors lay the great Bhishma, who was the great grandfather of the Kuru dynasty. In his lifetime, he had seen many kings rise and fall, but during his final moments, he longed to see just one person. Who could that person be? Maybe a great king, or could be a saint? No, Bhishma wanted to see only Krishna during his final moments. Why? Because Bhishma could see something that many failed to understand. Many saw Krishna as a good friend of the Pandavas, as their chariot driver, as their messenger. Some saw him as a cowherd, some saw him as a powerful politician. But Bhishma knew very clearly that Krishna was no ordinary person. He was Bhagavan, the supreme personality of Godhead, who had chosen to walk among us mortal beings. And this raises two very important questions. The first being, why does the Supreme Lord come down on this planet? Why does Krishna come? And the second one, when Krishna appears, why does he choose to become so close to his devotees? And this is the magic of Krishna. On one side, we have Krishna showing his Virat Rupa, encompassing all the universes to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. And on the other end, we have Krishna, who ran away from Mother Yashoda. One side, we have Krishna, who commanded great respect, who guided great kings. And on the other side, we have that very same Krishna who played with the village boys of Gokul. This sounds very contradictory. And to understand why Krishna appears, why does Krishna perform these kinds of leelas, we have to travel back in time before the battle of Kurukshetra to the kingdom of Mathura. A very greatly powerful king by the name Kamsa had come to power. On what would have been one of the most happiest days of his life, the wedding of his very dear sister Devaki, something was about to unfold that would change his life forever. As Kamsa personally drove the chariot of Vasudeva and Devaki, he heard something from the sky. Akashvani, the voice proclaimed that, O Kamsa, the eighth child of Devaki will be the cause of your death. Kamsa was immediately taken aback. He at once rose on his chariot. He grabbed Devaki by her hair and he rose his sword to kill her. But Vasudeva somehow saved the situation. He pacified Kamsa by promising that as and when Devaki would give birth to her children, he would hand them over one by one to Kamsa. Kamsa had great belief and faith in the words of Vasudeva. He knew Vasudeva would never break his promise. Believing Vasudeva, Kamsa let Devaki and Vasudeva go. After Kamsa went back to his palace, he counseled with his advisors, who told him that, O Kamsa, don't think that the eighth child could be the cause of your death. It could literally be any one of them. So it's time that you dealt with them right now. Being intrigued by his advisors, Kamsa immediately imprisoned both Vasudeva and Devaki. Kamsa, who feared no armies, who feared no weapons, was now scared of a little baby that was yet to take birth. Finally, Devaki and Vasudeva are put behind the bars, and as and when Devaki went on giving birth to her children, Kamsa would kill them one by one. But it's quite interesting to note that how can you imprison the one within whom the entire universe exists? These are some of the wonderful leelas of Krishna. Kamsa had captured Devaki and Vasudev and imprisoned them, but he could little realize that fear had made him its prisoner. When the seventh child was about to take birth, it appeared as if Devaki had a miscarriage. In fact, the Bhagavad Puran mentions that Yogamaya Devi, had arranged for the transfer of the child in the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. Rohini was one of the wives of Vasudeva who was residing in Gokul. This child, who later took birth, came to be known as Balaram, Krishna's elder brother. And finally, the night came. There was no royal processions, no magnificent throne, no armies announcing the proclaim of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the darkness of midnight, surrounded by his two helpless parents, Krishna appeared as brilliant as if thousands of suns had risen at once. The Supreme Lord, who delivers all the souls, chose to appear behind the prison walls. As Krishna appeared, Vasudeva and Devaki were immediately relieved of all of their miseries that they had underwent. Krishna instructed Vasudeva to carry him across to Gokul, where Yashoda had just given birth to a little baby girl. And then came this magical moment when all the guards fell asleep. The doors, the thick iron doors, opened on their own. The shackles, the chains were all loosened and free. This is something very, very significant, something that we can connect with ourselves. When Krishna appeared, all the chains broke open themselves. Similarly, when Krishna appears in our lives, the chains that bind us begin to break free. What could these chains be? Can any of you guess? You can mention in the comments. Let's see what you say. So, all the chains came out on its own, and Vasudeva placed Krishna in a basket and he began walking towards Gokul. It was raining, it was thundering, he had to cross the Yamuna. The Yamuna was roaring, but then Yamuna is also one of the greatest devotees of Krishna. And who wouldn't want an opportunity to serve Krishna? So Yamuna parted herself. She made way so that Vasudev could cross over to Gokul. As Vasudev walked, Ananta Shesha also appeared, and with his hoods he shielded Krishna like an umbrella from the rain. And now and then Yamuna would rise to touch Krishna's feet with the water. So, such are the loving pastimes of Vrindavan. Vasudev finally reaches Gokul. he goes to the house of Nanda and Yashoda. Yashoda is fast asleep, and due to the exhaustion of her labor, she couldn't remember if she had given birth to a boy or a girl. So Vasudeva places Krishna and takes the little girl away from Yashoda and goes back to the prison house of Kamsa. As he enters, again the doors begin to close on their own, the shackles are back on, the chains are back on, and the little baby girl begins to cry. Immediately, the guards wake up and they inform Kamsa. Kamsa comes rushing to the prison house, thinking that now the time has come for him to deal with this nemesis, the cause of his death. Kamsa comes, he grabs hold of the little girl's child with his hands, he raises her in the air and is about to dash her onto the earth. Immediately, this little child slips away from the hand of Kamsa and she assumes the form of Durga Devi and she warns Kamsa. She sternly warns him, saying that, "O Kamsa, you have committed many atrocious activities against your dear sister. The child who will be the cause of your death has already taken birth somewhere else." Saying this, Durga Devi immediately vanishes. Kamsa is puzzled. All the while he was waiting that the eighth child would take birth and then he would kill the child and then his problem would be solved. But Bhagavad Puran goes on to mention that Kamsa's real nightmare began then onwards. Bhagavad Puran mentions that while walking, while sleeping, while talking, or literally while doing anything, Kamsa was only thinking of this little child that would be the cause of his death. Kamsa immediately had another discussion with his advisors and counselors, and they all gave him an ill advice, saying that you must kill all the children that have taken birth in the vicinity of your kingdom. And thus began Kamsa's vicious activities. Not just the killing of children, Kamsa also began to send many great demons in all directions to terrorize the people and their children. And one such demon, one of the first demons to enter Gokula was, let's see how many of you know it. This demon had a very terrifying form. In fact, she had the ability by which she could disguise herself as a beautiful woman and approach unsuspecting families and poison their little children with her milk. So terrifying it sounds, isn't it? Her name was Putana. Putana goes to Gokula, approaches Yashoda Maya, and Yashoda Maya, seeing the beautiful form of Putana, is bewildered. She thinks that maybe somebody has come from the Devaloka to bless my child. Thinking like this, she allows Putana to enter her house. And then she cradles Krishna in her lap, and at that moment, Krishna, you see, Krishna is Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Bhagavad Gita says, Trikala Jnana, Krishna knows the past, present, and future. Nothing is hidden from Krishna. But there is one wonderful quality that Krishna has. That quality is that Krishna never sees anything bad in the other person. He sees only the good that's in the other person. And this little very good, he magnifies. Krishna has no friends or no enemies. He is equal to everyone. Putana came to Krishna offering her milk. Krishna saw her as his mother. and he purified her. In fact, when she offered him his milk, he not just sucked her milk, but also took away her life along with her milk. In fact, the Bhagavad Puran mentions that Putana did not take birth again. She was completely freed from all her sins. She was purified and she attained moksha. Krishna is like a touchstone. Whatever he touches, it becomes gold. In the battlefield of Kurukshetra, the Mahabharata mentions that both the enemies and the allies, whoever saw Krishna, were benefited. Everyone got the same benefit. So Krishna is so wonderful. With Putana now gone, Kamsa's plans to Krishna to kill Krishna had not come to an end. He now sent another great demon by the name Trinavarta, who could take the form of a great whirlwind, like a cyclone. So this demon Trinavarta lands up in Gokula, and Mother Yashoda is busy taking care of her household duties, and this demon takes advantage of the situation. He assumes the form of a cyclone and he carries away Krishna high into the sky. But how can you carry someone who carries the entire universe? So Krishna began to assume his weight in greater and greater proportions. Trinavarta could feel the power of Krishna, and before it was too late, he came crashing down onto the earth, and that was his end. Sometimes ego makes us fly in the sky, but Krishna brings us back to reality. It's only when we bring Krishna into our life that the storms of illusion come to an end. The Bhagavad Puran details in this part, in this leela, one very specific quality of Krishna. You see, though Krishna is a very small child, a little child, it is not that Krishna was less in his power, or that when Krishna grew up, he then assumed all his powers. No. Krishna is Krishna always. When he's a child, when he's a youth, any time, Krishna is always the supreme personality of Godhead, the same person with all the powers. So, after Trinavarta's end, for some time, there was peace in Gokula. Life went on usually, and Yashoda, though she was witness to all these incidents, she never considered Krishna as an extraordinary child. Even then, she would always take care of Krishna, worry if Krishna had his meals, perform some puja sometimes to protect him. Sometimes she would correct him also. But one incident that took place made Yashoda wonder who her child really was. One day, while she was churning butter at her home, some children suddenly came to her and said, Yashoda Maya, your son Krishna is eating mud. Yashoda was taken aback. She was shocked. Are, we have so much milk, so much curd, and so much nice food stuff at our home. Why is Krishna eating mud? She thinks like this. What if something goes on, something goes wrong with him? So, thinking like this, Mother Yashoda immediately goes after Krishna. And little Krishna, he's scared. Mother Yashoda asks him, have you eaten mud? He says, no, Mama, I have not eaten any mud. And then she says, please open your mouth. As Krishna opens his mouth, Mother Yashoda sees the entire universe within his mouth. And astonishingly, within his mouth, she sees herself seeing inside Krishna's mouth. So, seeing this, all this for a moment, Yashoda is bewildered. And she's surprised. What am I seeing? And what's happening? Am I dreaming? And then, Krishna. See, Yashoda Maya saw the universe within Krishna's mouth. But Krishna wanted to see the love in Yashoda's eyes. Immediately, Krishna covered her with this Maya and again made himself as a small child in front of Yashoda. Seeing this, Yashoda was pacified again. Like I said in the beginning, one side we have Krishna showing his Virat Rupa, and then on the other side we have this picture of Mother Yashoda running behind Krishna with a stick, tying him with a rope. We have one side Krishna guiding great kings and warriors. On the other side, Krishna is playing with little children in the village of Gokula. So, two contrasting realities, isn't it? So, Bhagavad Puran mentions that one side of Krishna, one aspect of Krishna is his Aishwarya Bhava. Aishwarya Bhava is his magnificence, his opulence, awe and reverential worship. On the other side is that very sweet nature of Krishna, where Krishna likes to have unalloyed, pure, and sweet relationships with his devotees. In fact, Shastras mention that Krishna enjoys more with his devotees in these kinds of leelas than with his role as the creator of this universe, the maintainer of this universe, the protector of this universe. So these sweet leelas are mentioned in the Bhagavad Puran to be the supermost of Krishna's leelas. So to summarize why Krishna comes, as Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutthana adharmasya tadatmanam sajamyam. Krishna proclaims that whenever and wherever there is a decline in the practice of religious principles, he appears to set it right again. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha duskritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Krishna again says to protect his devotees and to destroy the demons, Krishna appears again and again. The very beginning of Bhagavad Puran, Krishna's Leelas, is from this point where Bhudevi, Mother Earth, is overburdened with the demonic forces on her surface. She approaches Brahma, the creator of this universe, and conveys her misery. Brahma, along with all the devatas and Bhudevis, reach Shirasagara, the residence of Lord Vishnu. There at Shirasagara, Brahma performs tapasya and Vishnu appears within the heart of Brahma and he relates a message. What does he say? He says, O Brahma, soon I shall appear on this planet in my original form as Krishna. And all of you devatas must take birth in different families on the planet Earth and assist me, serve me in fulfilling my mission. Saying this, Vishnu disappears. So, this is the very reason why Krishna appeared on this planet 5000 years back to again set right the principles of Dharma. So, we'll conclude. Thank you all for joining. With Janmashtami approaching, let us get a little more closer to Krishna and deepen our relationship with Him. So, happy Janmashtami in advance. If you have time, please do visit our temple for darshan. We'll end now. We'll all chant the Hare Krishna mantra 7 times, invoking the blessings of Radha and Krishna. You can all chant along with me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण चंद्र की जय। विश्वगुरु Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So we'll soon have another session continuing Krishna's childhood leelas, unveiling most of his pastimes. So thank you once again. Hare Krishna.